Hey everyone, welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line. This is episode 79 of the Halls of Arden Vul and the very first episode of Delve 5. We are currently going through the Halls of Arden Vul Megadungeon by Richard Barton using the old school Essentials system by Gavin Norman, otherwise known as Necrotic Gnome. My name is John. I'm the referee for the evening. We have a full house tonight. Going around the horn, we have...
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'll be playing for the interim Brother Lothar, the 5th level cleric of Odin.
I'm David, and I'll be playing Upior Velez, the 4th level magic user.
Hi, everyone. I'm Matt. Tonight I'm playing Wolfhead Cheek. I'm a 3rd level barbarian, and get used to it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ted. Tonight, I will be playing Mortis J. Gobliano, at least up until we find out whether the blindness is permanent. And we'll just see how that goes. Okay.
All right. So, this week is the last week of July, first week of August. So we're staring at Gen Con right in the face. I'm sure a lot of everyone out there is probably excited to go out there. Unfortunately, none of us are going to be there. However, we have something that rivals Gen Con in scope, scale, and sheer awesomeness happening at the same time this weekend. Matt, what do we got going on this weekend?
In every way, John, in every way. So we are very, very excited. This Friday, August 2nd, is our very, very first 3D6 Down the Hatch hangout. Ted and I are going to be hanging out with some of our listeners, friends, everybody at this place called the Library Bar in New York City. We're going to meet with folks, talk nerd stuff, and just, overall celebrate this game that we love so much. If anybody wants more details, you can hop on our public Discord. But we're really, really pumped. Gen Con, Schmencon, we got this covered.
Exactly. Way better use of your time and in a much cooler city. Let's face it. So if you happen to be in the in the greater New York area or want to make a special trip, come on in and meet Ted and Matt and hang out. It should be a lot of fun. Okay. So let's pick up where we are. This is the beginning of Delve 5. I thought that the unfortunate and tragic death of Frater Avaricios combined with the actually gaining one of the 4 regalia, which you've been searching for quite some time, was a good stopping point for the end of a delve, and we'll restart here. So tip of the hat to Frater Avaricios, the last original member of Arden Vul, of the team that walked up that path and saw the great statues. He was the last one. Now Mort is the great veteran. Unfortunately, Mort is in a bad way. He is blind right now after this battle with Neferet, the undead high priestess of Thoth that had the Iron Circlet of Gonor in a secret chamber that you teleported to via use of the fire pit, the infamous fire pit. So it is the 11th of Gelenios. It's about approximately 11 a.m. We're in the aftermath of that battle, picking up right where we were. The entire party, except for Upior, has bamfed out of there using the rug back to the secret stash, which is the secret interior chamber of the hidden pyramid of the pyramid that is one of the mysteries of Thoth, a little bit to the north. So here's the situation as far as conditions go, and it's a little bit dire. Avaricios is dead. That's the worst part.
That's pretty dire as far as dire goes.
In the moment when the flavor, when I was just kind of doing the flavor for the flame strike that killed him, I said that he was a pile of ash. That is not actually true. He's more like a blackened and charred corpse. That's
much better.
If you need a corpse for some reason, the corpse is there. It is not a pile of ash. The Mort was permanently blinded. And also, that's all he's got, actually. Yost is unconscious and bleeding out and also has mummy rot. Lothar is conscious but has mummy rot. And I believe Lothar also lost some ability scores as well.
Yeah.
Right?
He did.
So, and Upior is... You're invisible, right, Upior, right now?
It either happened. It's either going to happen at the top of this, or it was at the end of last. We basically ended right on that.
Yeah.
declaration.
Okay. Yeah. But you're pretty much in those chambers by yourself because you saw no sign of Nefrit. And last anyone saw of Nefrit was she put another one of those pearls from a necklace in her mouth, and she turned invisible and disappeared into the darkness in that passageway that led out of there to the east, out of those chambers to the east. So that's also a little bit worrisome in that you did not drop Nefrit, and she is now kind of in the wind. She could stalk the halls of Arden Vul as she pleases. So there might be some consequences to that as well. So
Nobody
When
said
has
anything
anything
about
we've done-
consequences.
If I learned anything from this game, is nothing has consequences, and
certainly go tomb raiding to your heart's content, and nothing bad will happen. Lothar is actually currently wearing the Iron Circlet of Gonor, one of the 4 pieces of the regalia of the ancient Arcantians, and you've got all those new powers which you're aware of. Your charisma is boosted up, and you have true seeing basically on all the time, and you can use clairaudience and clairvoyance and mass charm and feeble mind and a whole bunch of other crazy enchanting sort of magics to rule from afar is what the goal was with the Iron Circlet.
Yeah.
So that is upon your brow right now, but you're not feeling too great because you got the mummy rod.
So you said something about how the crown feeds off my life force, right?
Yes, it does. Yeah. There's no real mechanical thing that you can sense with that right now, but you can definitely feel that it is sort of bonded to you like a symbiote, in some sort of way, in a not great way.
Oh, festive.
I'm sure it's probably fine.
It's always always a price.
you're just Dax from Star Trek. You're fine. All right. Fine.
So there is some very what's the word, pressing things going on back in the pyramid right now, but I do want to get wrap up what Upior plans to do here in the tomb itself. So David, the aftermath, you're standing in the aftermath of this battle, breathing heavily. All of your friends have gone. Nefret is nowhere to be seen. The shadows were burst into a billion smithereens by Lothar. I think it was Lothar who did that, right?
I think so.
And then
I think it was Avaricios, but
was it Everett? Okay. And then the last mummy was destroyed by Yost, I believe. And that the remains of that
I think
mummy.
Elizabeth got him, I think.
Yeah, I think the mummy actually dropped Yost, and then Elizabeth put the final couple hit points on the mummy. Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay,
don't,
gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
don't
So
sell her short, man. She's got us.
those
Yost,
are the
of course, did the lion's share of the work in that particular case. I just want you to know.
Yeah, just left a mess for her
You're
to clean up.
both
Sure,
pretty.
that's fine.
Can we keep going? You're both pretty.
You're the favorite children.
the Avaricios's body is also there. So as far as bodies, all you're looking at is Avaricios in the main chamber with the false tomb, and then the body of the mummy in the northern chamber with the single sarcophagus that it crawled out of. However, you know that there is multiple grave goods in the hidden chamber to the west beyond the illusory wall. And then there's just you. And there is the open 5-foot wide passageway, which you fought Neferet in, and that she disappeared in that direction. What do you do?
Well, that was a lot. So Upior, when he is invisible, is going to cast Levitate.
Okay.
And you do that the other way around.
Sorry.
If you cast when you're invisible, doesn't that?
Only if
Right,
you're
No,
attacking.
only an offensive,
Only
right?
offensive,
Only
yeah.
offensive
Oh, okay.
match. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I would do it the other way. I would just take the ring off. Yeah, but good call. Thank you. I'm gonna levitate up to the ceiling to a position that is not contacting it, but is essentially like, imagine if I were like repelling from it, right? I was like hanging from a fixed point,
Mhm.
and I'm going to wait and listen, suspended in air, for footsteps, breathing, doors opening in the distance, anything like that, for I don't know, 5 minutes, and then if I don't hear anything, maybe 5 more, and then we can go from there.
Okay, so the unfortunately, you are hanging out in the silence, and the silence has not been dispelled. So everything's extremely quiet right now. You hear nothing.
You wouldn't be able to cast levitate in the silence.
I wouldn't be able to cast. I thought I was right on the cusp of.
Well, you can do
the
that.
silence.
I assume that you did it in the hallway, and then, or did you do it in the
silence
hallway?
only goes in like 10 feet, right?
Yeah, the silence only goes in 5 or 10 feet into the hallway. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will go to the. I will very slowly while invisible. Well, I don't make any noise, I guess, but I will go up to my guesstimation of where that silence is.
Yeah.
And let's say I do this instead. I'm going to kind of stick my ear, like my head out from the silence. Listen for a couple. Do I hear anything?
Yes. So if we consider that this is happening like literally just seconds after the battle ended,
Yeah, exactly.
you do hear like a shifting of stone off in the
Do I have
distance.
it is in the distance, though.
Yeah, far in the
Is it-
distance.
Far in the distance. Okay.
Mhm.
But is it like heavy stone, like a stone door that I'm hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to wait till that noise subsides. I'm being excessively paranoid, of course.
Mhm.
I'm going to listen for another 5 minutes there. Do I hear anything?
Nothing.
Okay. I'm going to step out of the silence. Actually, I don't need to step out of the silence. I'm going to throw the rug back down behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the silence bubble. And I'm going to didn't think about that on
you
camera.
gotta signal that ring.
I'm going to signal the guys with the ring. I like all clear.
Who's wearing the other end of the ring? Who's blind now?
Yost
So
was, right? Or no,
Mort
Yost is
was
down.
wearing it, but the signal's
Yeah.
not going to work for Mort.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, so
Yeah.
he's going to need to hand that to Gangrene, I think.
Gangrene's nowhere to be seen right now. Oh, or was Gangrene and Trefko waiting on the other side of the rug?
They were guarding.
They're all literally are on the other side of it with Niall as well.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. You can do that. Yeah.
so
They
somebody
saw when he
anyway.
come in.
So
Yeah.
someone who will actually notice being blind, not blind, not blind.
Yeah.
Because Mort is useless for this particular signal.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is sorry to interrupt, John. Just a caveat. Since it's within the silence sphere, I'm actually going to recede back from the hall around out of line of sight.
Mhm.
Just inside the tomb, lay the rug there, and then do the signal. Does that make sense? But I'm gonna keep watch down the hall while this is happening.
Understood. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
just
where the rug is, we can come in because we can speak the command word at the other side, right? But like we won't be able
We'll
to
have
leave.
to move it. Yeah.
we'll have to move it to leave. But for now, just so because I don't want all the commotion of y'all coming in to like trigger a response.
Yep.
But I still want to. I'm still because I'm invisible. I'm basically looking straight down the hallway. But I put the rug out of line of sight from the hallway. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so
that
y'all are
makes
south
sense.
of that
I got
door.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got it in place. That's good. So you guys, Gangrene relays the signal that's happening. However, he actually has to sort of tug on Mort's. Well, Mort can't see for one reason, but the main reason that Gangrene has to take a little bit of time to get your attention about it is because you guys are all staring with a mounting sense of dread at the unconscious form of Yost as you take account of what's happening to him right now and what the nigh insurmountable task you have of saving his life right now due to the nature of what he has and the fact that you do not have Avaricios. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. He is in the negatives right now. And you lose those hit points once per round. We are now out of combat, which means that he has less than a turn right now to survive. Bandaging will not help because it takes an entire turn to apply.
Right.
And the mummy rot that he has, magical healing does no good, and natural healing takes 10 times as long. So the only way that you can save Yost's life right now is in less than a turn if you can cast Cure Disease. That is it. That is the deal. Is there any possible way that you can get Cure Disease on that man right now?
No.
There is not. John, could we? This is a Hail Mary. This is a Hail Mary. Could we? Because I was hoping that we could, like, as soon as like we got back to bandage him up. But if that's not on the table, could we drag him down the hall
To the pool.
and chuck him into the healing pool?
That's what I was sort of assuming we were going to do. I forgot about the magical healing thing.
Yeah, like I mean, if we could swing an extra few seconds by
That's really smart.
like,
That's really smart.
as soon as we were out of there, start the bandaging, realize that's not working, drag him to that pool.
Does that mean that the rule means that you're better off trying to bandage somebody in combat in this situation? Because otherwise you're just going to run out of time.
You can't bandage out in combat. So it takes a full turn. It's just the nature of mummy rot that has made this a really, really bad situation. And unfortunately, it's a good idea, Matt. But knowing what you know from your previous encounter with the mummies, you know that should that pool be in any sort of way magical healing, which you're fairly confident it is, it does no good at all.
I have one more Hail Mary, which is gruesome, but I mentioned it when Sam got mummy rot. And I don't recall if there was a specified point of contact or the exact mechanics of this, but if it is spreading on a limb, we should try to cut the limb off.
So it doesn't really, I mean, it's all flavor if it spreads or something like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, if you have the mummy rot is the mummy rot.
Okay. Yeah, just making sure.
Yeah. So I took some time to make sure. Yeah, I took some time to look this up, and I'm fairly sure that unless you guys have a cure disease on you in some way, shape, or form right now, that you cannot save him. Is that
you guys are?
What about John? That knit bone spell. It says it repairs serious injuries, separating wounds, lameness, blindness, illness. It's a 4th level spell.
How do you have that? What form do you have that?
I got it on a scroll. And we got it on the scroll that
is that page 183?
Yeah, it was before we started writing down page numbers, so I don't have that, but it was the same scroll that I used to dispel magic from.
I don't need to know. I just need to know how you have the spell. That's all.
Yeah, knit bones, 4th level, which is a level higher than cure disease.
Mort, you maybe throw in some prayers to Thoth, my dude, while you've got that mask on. This is Yost.
And you know the thing about it is like if Yost is, it says illness very specifically in the description. I just don't know if that will mean mummy rot, you know?
No, so it's
and then
it closes up suppurating wounds, restores all forms of lesser injuries, resulting in a reduction of fitness like lameness, blindness, and deafness. It does not help with magical ailments, curses, and feeble mind, which is what this is.
Okay.
Do we have, y'all are sitting in the stash. I'm looking through the treasure checker. We don't have any potions that would cure disease in there, do we?
If we have one, it's not one that we have identified. That's why I'm doing the same thing, David. And I found some healing stuff, but nothing. Unless our potion of molasses could slow the mummy rot advance, I don't think a potion is an option for us because we haven't identified a cure disease.
That's a pretty interesting idea, though, Ted.
So there's nothing, right? We can't spend all day on it, but I'm pretty sure that he's toast.
Yost is toast.
No, don't toast Yost.
All right.
Take me again, John. Take me again.
I don't suppose Oculos is likely to take any action here to preserve Yost.
He doesn't have the ability.
Wait. Ooh. I don't know if this will help, but he is wearing a periaptive proof against poison.
It's not poisonous disease, bro.
Yeah, okay.
But good try.
Maybe he could be a little bit poisonous.
Okay. So we have to do another RIP. Yost with the most. Everyone's favorite NPC.
Should have put armor on that. You should have put armor on that guy.
He has died. He has expired.
He got to the chopper in the sky.
Yes. So at the moment, you all suddenly realize that there's nothing you can do for Yost, and he expires. But then Gangrene sort of is like, "Really sorry to interrupt, boss, but I'm getting a signal from the other ring." Trefko sort of nudges the body of Yost, sort of like a
John, I'm just wondering, will that knit bones? Would that cure the the blindness spell on Mort?
Don't know.
Did
Can I use
mention
it?
blind?
Well, let's let Lisbeth try her dispel magic on it. Let's see if
Okay,
that
yeah.
works, because once
Before
that
you burn a
scroll's gone, it's
scroll.
gone forever.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Lothar is willing to, maybe with Niall, to go recover Av, go back to meet David and help him.
Who
while
is?
you guys try and sort that out. Lothar and Niall.
Okay. So is there anyone here who has like a passive detect magic or anything like that going on that I should know about?
Is it Oculus?
Oculus does not do that. Oculus can detect evil.
Oh. Where were you last session?
When you say here, do you mean of us or them? Me or them?
In the pyramid.
Two sessions ago would have been the time to detect evil, Mike, not last session.
Does
But
anyone
yeah,
have a detect magic going on right now? I just need to know real quick. No?
No,
Okay. All right. So you're going to cast a spell magic, Wolford?
not
or
not Wolford, but
Elizabeth.
Lisbeth has it. Yeah.
Okay. And you're going to...
So tears in her eyes. She's going to turn her attention away from her beloved Yost and look to the Mort as he's flailing around and try to cast dispel magic on that, hoping that was a magical spell of blindness that caused him his malady.
Okay. So when you cast it, is there any other magical effects done by a spell that are currently active on you guys?
not on Mort, just magic items.
Okay. All right. So the spell seems to go off, but fizzle as it cannot find a target, Elizabeth.
Oh.
It can find no spell that is active to dispel.
This makes me extremely sad.
Oh, yeah, that is not good. That is not good. We thought that might do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can try detect magic when we reunite on Mort, but that sounds like we have an answer already.
Oh, it's not one that I'm fond of. I will tell you that.
It might count as a curse, though, Ted. You might still be able to remove a curse.
Yeah, I'm cursed. Oh God. Okay.
Either that, man, or we got to get to the spaceship and see if they got like cybernetic implants for your eyes.
Ooh,
So it
okay.
just occurred to me, not to make things hard on us, but we used the lamp that was our light source to burn Neferet. Is there any other light in the tomb, or am I sitting in darkness?
You used the lamp. Yeah, that's true.
My lamp.
You
was
have
used-
Avaricios's
Elizabeth-
continual light magic holy
Yeah.
symbol.
That's true.
Yeah, Elizabeth would have left that in the room for you if you were staying behind.
So I do see. I was like, because otherwise, all right, cool. I'm gonna go grab that and I guess stow it in my robe for now, while waiting. Or actually,
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry.
I do think that I know that the duration for that is permanent, but I think that's probably as long as the caster is alive. Because otherwise it would just be, a cleric who has continual light could make like an entire industry out of putting permanent light on things and selling it. So
Too late.
yeah.
What about the areas in the dungeon that we found that do have continual lights on them?
It's not necessarily like some things don't follow the same rules as PCs.
Okay.
But yeah, I will have to be a little bit harsh, David. I think that probably would have winked out whenever Avaricios died.
All right.
Yeah.
I do have a tinderbox.
Okay.
And I suspect there's a lot of flammable stuff in here if I need to desperately have to get light quickly. But for now, is it okay for me to be just waiting in the dark? Or is it
It's up to you. You just are in the dark. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to wait in the dark for now.
Okay. Okay. So you guys, Gangrene tells you that the ring is pinging. Yost has passed away. Dispel magic does not seem to have worked on Mortis's blindness. Lothar has mentioned knit bones. Do you want to attempt that or not? Or do you want to jump through into the rug?
It's a scroll. I don't want to burn through such a useful scroll. We got to get that transcribed.
Yeah. Let me detect magic on you before we try to scroll.
Yeah, it's fine. So Mort will sit and stay with Yost while everyone else goes and does stuff. So Titus can go through and he can see in the dark, so he can arrive and be able to be like, hey, you guys need a lamp or a torch or something. So
Okay, so everyone pops through. What retainers are going through? You said Y'all and
Why not bring all of them right now?
Let's not bring Trefco because we don't.
He's too big for that.
He's too big for that hallway, right?
Yeah.
Well,
He's too big to squeeze through that little hallway. Why don't we bring Njal, and we can send somebody to run and get some more hands. We could get Wolford to help carry stuff. We can get Sam.
Yeah, for now, yeah, exactly. We don't have to bring Trefco. Right now, we're just going to try to loot this tomb, and then we can get an action team together afterwards. Yeah, so let's bring as many hands as we can.
Not to be like a jackass too, but would Wolford ever use that carpet? Are we going to have to B.A. Baracus him?
Yeah,
we're going to have to B.A. Baracus that guy.
That is very true, Matt. That's a highly magical thing. That's like really, I don't think you'd be able to reconcile that. But in general, though, like if you're going to bring everyone but Wolford, I understand. Is that what's going to happen?
Can we do this though? Going off of my B.A. Baracus thing, take Wolford out of the room, blindfold him, then we pick him up, or I carry him and I go to the carpet and then I use the thing, and then when I take the blindfold off, he's in a different room.
No, we already determined that didn't work because we tried when Ted and I tested it. We tried seeing if more than one person could go through, and the person who was being held fell to the floor.
Right.
Unfortunately, I love the idea, but you can't basically like take it on.
What if we let him on blindfold and we put him on the carpet? And I said something along the lines of, "I bet you can't say this word, Wolford. Your accent's too thick."
I mean, look, I love Wolford's personality. Just starting an argument about the word is a perfect way to get him to go through. I do like that.
It would work. I would say
saying it would work all the time, John. Like I'm not trying
I'm just trying to push things along here. The Wolford can go through this one time using that deception. When then basically from that point on, Wolford can never use the rug ever. Unless,
another way to trick him.
And here's the problem, guys. That means Wolford's stranded in the tomb.
Well, someone had to walk the rug out no matter what. The whole plan was for us to port in, take treasure away, and then the crew would safely take the rug out on foot. So that's not really the issue.
Correct.
The issue is this the thing you want to spend Wolford's one-time use of the rug on?
Correct.
Yeah,
Might be good to school him. Go ahead, sorry.
I have another guy. I have my backup that I rolled in episode 0. That's never seen the light of day.
That's wild.
Who is it?
I don't even know how they talk yet. So their accent might float around a little bit. So everybody don't get too excited.
Why should this guy be any different than anyone else's?
Hey, no, I have a thief that's been just like skulkily hiding around, following us the whole time.
Oh my God.
Invisible shadow. Only the wind knows his name. Ooh.
Well,
okay, so
wind.
Alternatively, you could leave Wolford with Mort and Gangrene goes through.
I do think we should move along.
Yeah.
It's taking a long time.
It's time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't we do that? Let's not spend Wolford's one-time use of the teleport. We don't need to worry about introducing a new character. Gangrene will go through.
Okay. So you
Gangrene, Njal, Lothar, Titus, Upior,
Sam.
and Sam.
So who's Matt?
Should Elizabeth come through?
Yeah, let's send Elizabeth through.
Okay, great.
All right, so everyone's there. So you guys pop back into existence. Titus, you can immediately sort of, gather what's happening in the room. You going to turn on a lantern or what?
Yeah, Titus, assesses the room in the dark and if sees Upior just sitting there like a weirdo and says, how about some light? And lights a torch. And that is his...
Okay,
oh, no, he's got a bunch of torches. He's good to go.
Torchlight blooms in the room as you survey the wreckage. On the other side of the illusory wall, which is where you know the treasure is, this is what we have going on. Okay, there is a lot of grave goods that are like chairs and settees, right? Like there's a number of chairs, one settee, several onks on the end of 10-foot poles, and then there's this 10-foot diameter net that was thrown by someone.
We took that with us already.
Elizabeth, yeah. Oh yeah, she brought it back. Yeah.
So you already have it. Okay, cool. And a variety of alabaster and canopic jars, which some of which were smashed by you guys. So the grave goods themselves, all like the treasure, the valuable sort of stuff, are worth 5,000 gold if you take everything. That means the chairs and the settee, right? They have to go. The settee was going to be, I guess it'd probably work. I guess it's fine.
Still needs furniture.
I just mean about teleporting it on the rug, but it's fine. And the canopic jars are no longer worth anything because you destroyed them, but in the remnants of them, as you sort of look around, of all like the smashed organs and all that sort of stuff, there actually was a couple of interesting things in the bottom of some of those canopic jars, which you just accidentally broke. Not accidentally, but deliberately broke, but was not expecting the treasure. One is that flickers in the torchlight is a single small but very beautiful diamond that just stands in the midst of all this gunk. And you can quickly size that up to be worth 2,500 gold all by itself. A single small diamond. And in addition, in the bottom of a jar that actually didn't have any liquid or organs in it, a dry jar, is actually a jar that was filled with 5 tightly rolled scrolls. So there's 5 scrolls, 5 separate scrolls, each with a spell on them. As you guys take a look at them, between all of you guys together, you can easily determine that they are cleric spells.
If one of them is cure disease, I'm going to bounce my head off this desk. I swear to God.
It is not.
Okay. I'm actually relieved a little bit.
Yeah, honestly.
So the spells that are on these are, and there's one per scroll, just so you're aware. Dispel magic, bestow curse, or curse, I think is what it's just called in OSC. Neutralize poison, detect magic, and speak with dead. All right. In another jar, you find 5 small little round balls. One of them is different than the other 4. One is clearly a pearl, and it's quite large. Doesn't look natural, and it looks different than the one that Neferet had around her neck. It seems to actually have like a very, very pale sky blue sheen to it if you look at it at a certain angle on the torchlight. Otherwise, it's pearlescent. And then the other 4 all seem to be of a kind, and they are smaller, much smaller than the pearl, tiny, tiny little, about the size of like rosary beads. And they're made out of a dull black glass. And they're very tiny, and there's 4 of them.
Which do look like the ones that are on Neferet's neck, I suppose?
No, those were pearls.
Oh.
I missed one of the spells on the scroll, John. I got Dispel Magic, Neutralize Poison, and Speak with Dead.
Curse and detect magic.
Yeah.
I suppose I will take a look at those pearls. They seem arcane.
Yeah. Do you touch them?
After last session,
I should be clear. There's one pearl, and there's 4 much smaller rosary bead size things of dull black glass.
Spheres.
Spheres, yeah.
I just got Detect Magic on a scroll. Do you want me to just put everything in a pile?
I have at will detect magic.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah.
Yeah, but it takes a lot of time, right?
And you got to touch them to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spell.
So we could just pile everything together, and then I can just cast it. It's just on a scroll anyway.
Is there anything else in the loot pile here, John? Should we finish the loot list before we start detecting things?
Yeah, let's do that.
That is it.
Oh, okay. Well, you're not going to be able to use the scroll until we leave the silence bubble. So let's grab all of this stuff. Let's grab anything that was still on Avaricios's body, or let's bring his body back. Let's bring the whole body back.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
he's got some nice armor.
That was only what's in the true tomb.
Yeah,
I remember the place. Yeah, the place where the shadows came through. I remember there's some coins down there.
You haven't looked there.
I've also sorry. I still never read the Mithric on the walls of the other tomb, which I'd like to do. So
Let's
I'll
finish
walk
the
into
looting first. Then we can read stuff.
We did just finish. What I'm saying is, we did just finish the looting and the.
There's other rooms.
Okay.
Yeah, just read the Mithric, man.
I'm moving into the other rooms.
Okay,
and
fine.
we're looting. We're doing the other rooms, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
want to open a thing and spring a trap on us, which is why I want to read it before we start just willy nilly looting the other sarcophagus.
Would it
Right,
be
so now
awesome
you're-
if the-
Fine.
Oh.
Fine.
So
read it.
now you're at the large sarcophagus in the center of the room, the one that's the false one. This is the one that whenever you opened it up, Oopie, or you actually felt your nose twitch and your throat seize up. That doesn't occur this time, but you're not looking in the tomb right now. You're only looking at the sides. Both of the long sides are carved with the same mythic phrase, and it says Neferet, beloved of Thoth, seeker of truth, preserver of secrets.
Beloved of Thoth, seeker of truth, preserver of secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. That means Neferet knows all the little cubbies and hallways. Neferet's going to be like a xenomorph going through the frickin' vents for this dungeon. Oh, no. This is some real Scooby-Doo shit. Every picture is going to have eyes moving at us from now on.
Okay, so in the southern chamber, one sarcophagus has 3,400 ancient silver pennies, so that's the equivalent to 3,400 GP. The other one has a shitload of copper bits, which I assume you don't want. But there's also 238 ancient gold solidi, so that would be 2,380 GP worth of gold solidi, and it's also like 24 slots or so or whatever. Not 24. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, a lot of gold solidi. In the northern chamber, the one that had the single mummy, which has the single sarcophagus, that one has some stuff too. So there are 6 pieces of jade jewelry, and they are worth 200 gold each. There is 4 scrolls that have arcane magic user spells on them.
Useless.
Yeah. Titus is interested, even if Lothar isn't.
And there is also a pair of very finely tailored deer hide boots in the
Ooh.
sarcophagus as
We'll
well.
put those in the pile for sure.
They're not being worn by the mummy, I hope.
No, the spells are Magic Aura, Shatter, Lightning Bolt, and Stone Shape.
Cool.
Magic Aura, Shatter, Lightning Bolt,
Stone shape.
All right, I put those in my scroll case. Are there any? There's like a mummy body there, but are there any other like corpses within the sarcophagi or remnants of bodies? Okay.
Nope.
I'm going to take a couple of those coins from the stash arbitrarily and sort of fix them to the coin mantle around my neck as a trophy of sorts.
Okay.
Are we done in here for now, guys?
Well, so I wasn't clear on whether there was writing on any of the walls besides the tomb that Upior read.
No, there is the crumpled parchment, which I believe Mort was the one that took that, right?
Yeah, Mort. It's in Mort's pocket.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to read it.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
And you're not there. So,
Braille.
but yes, there's no other writing.
I'm going to, above the Mithric inscription on her tomb, I'm going to take a piece of chalk out, John, and I'm going to write in Mithric, Oblivion honors no gods or heroes. We are, the lot of us, equal to time.
It's very deep.
Yeah.
Can't play a necromancer and not be a little edgy, you know?
I'm going to call you
I would have just
Rust
written
Cole.
something rude about Neferet.
I mean, I did.
I know.
That's about the rudest thing I could say. Yeah.
Okay. So if we sort of, bucket chain that stuff, bop, 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 back and forth, we can get it all out of there, right?
You can, yeah.
Should I cast detect magic on the pile? And then because we have those glass little beads, we don't know what they do.
Sure. Detect magic before we shuttle it out. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So we pile everything up by the rug,
Mm-hmm.
and we do the spell.
Okay.
And I assume at some point the silence would fizzle out during this.
No, actually,
like
it lasted
30
quite a long
turns.
time. So
So
still quite
why
quiet.
don't we take everything out of the silence? Because you can't cast the scroll in silence. So we're gonna take that whole pile of stuff out of the
Right.
range of the silence into the hallway.
Well, the range is 60 feet, so he could just step into the hallway and cast it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, I do it.
Okay, so here's what's magical. The net. Oh no, you don't have the net on you. Okay, but I just gave you one for free. The net's magical. The
Well, Elizabeth had it with her anyway, so she would have put it
Sure.
into that. Yeah.
It's with her.
Okay.
And she's
Yeah,
there.
that's magical. The single pearl is magical. The 4 smaller dull glass beads are magical. The boots are magical. And of course, the scrolls are magical as well. I think that is it. Yes.
Okay.
Boots, dull black glass beads.
Everything I didn't give you a GP value for is
Right.
Yeah.
magical.
Yeah.
John, can you give me the page number for the clerical scrolls just so I have it written down?
Yep, 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the magic user ones are on page 201. Everything except for the boots is on page 200, and the boots are on page 201.
I have a question / reminder for myself and everyone else. The circlet bestows what powers again, Mike?
Clairaudience and clairvoyance, like a certain number of times per day. Charm monster and mass charm a certain number of times a day. True sight, like all the time. And then it gives me a +2 to my charisma.
And feeble mind.
And feeble mind.
Is true
mind.
sight triggering anything in this area as we're looking
That's
around?
good
John?
call.
The illusory wall, you can see right through it
It's that one.
and detects it as illusion.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it.
And the other thing I
get it.
just want to throw out, because we talked about earlier, John, you don't have to answer this, but I just want to pose that lacking the circlet, we don't know that Neferet has things like True Sight anymore. So if we're in the Scooby-Doo joke that I was using, she may know all the secret doors. She may have been completely reliant on the circlet to know the secret doors, right?
Yeah.
So the limitation of her passage through the dungeon might be severe now that we have that item.
Well,
Small
and a lot of
comfort.
stuff is
Small comfort.
changed since she died too.
Exactly. But I'm curious whether like that description of her as preserver of secrets is intrinsic to her as a caster or is
Well, I get
literally bestowed by this crown. So we should investigate that maybe in lore at some point because it'll help our
it. Yeah.
Well, for
clarity
one thing,
now
I think I
of
told
her.
you this last time it's strange to you guys as characters that a high priestess of the church of Thoth is wearing one of the most treasured secular items of the empire. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's already a weird thing. The other thing that you notice too, and that you kind of look back on it during the battle, is that especially Lothar would having now attuned with it and understanding like what the power of it is that you didn't see any evidence of Neferet bringing any of those powers to bear in your brief encounter with her.
Oh shit. I wonder, like this whole feeding off of the life force, I wonder if her lack of life force meant that she couldn't actually power the circlet.
Yeah. It only works for the living. Makes sense.
I'm curious. Go ahead, Dave.
No. I just got excited. Sorry. No, you first.
No, I'm just curious about one thing, Lothar. And Elizabeth would kind of look at you and ask, is it like dug in or can you like shift it around? Can you lift it up? Can you take it off if you want to? Or is it in there?
Yeah.
Like little needles.
I think I told you last time, Lothar, that it did seem to sort of conform itself to your shape of your skull. So it's on quite tight when you attempt to take it off, it appears to have like a little bit of unnatural resistance, but you can do so.
Okay.
Okay.
One other thing
Which
I'll
is
throw
good,
out
guys.
there.
Oh, go ahead.
No. You first.
I was just going to say, which is good, because if we go running down to Gosterwick to get my mummy rock cured, the last thing I want to be doing is run around with the iron circle of gonorrhea on my head.
Well, okay. Again, this is tinfoil, and I don't want to get too in the weeds about it, but just throwing it out there so it's on our minds. The secular, like beloved by Thoth, but like a secular sort of like symbol like this being on Neferet's head could be a hint to the fact that, like the Toresis, Neferet isn't Neferet, right? This might be whoever was the last person using the circlet until they were drained of whatever they had, and they reside within this. That's a reach, right? But Mike might become Neferet, you know what I mean? Kind of situation. Yeah. So
you have to take into account that whenever she did come out of the grave, she did announce herself as Neferet.
I am Neferet.
Sure,
she may be lying, but
and I realize that, but I just say it because she could be an imposter like us, but I don't know.
Guys, we got a lot to do. We got to get the hell out of here. Let's get out of here. And let's get me to Gosterwick so I can get rid of this horrible disease that I have.
Okay, so I'm assuming, just to speed things along, that you are putting the rug in the hallway where it's loud, and then you're going to use hand motions and stuff like that to sort of guide people to where they need to be, and one by one you're going to transport shit out of here, right?
Basically.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, but so I'm going to... Sorry, just the one caveat to coin a David phrase. We'll have a torch, like maybe about 30 feet down the corridor past like wherever she went. And I will be keeping a watch on it with the true sight so that I can see anything that comes.
Understood. Yep. So the transport nothing happens. Everything works out fine. You're able to get everything back. It's just a matter of time. I'm going to say that it takes 4 turns to get everything out of there. In addition, I'm going to say it took about another turn to sort of assess Yost, Upior doing his thing, and then kind of assessing the treasure and all that sort of stuff. So 5 turns total. That's going to put you at 11:20 in the morning. By the time that you guys are now back in the pyramid, is one person staying behind with the rug, or are you all going back together?
I think the plan is to all go back, right?
No. We're not leaving the rug here, Ted.
No.
Yeah, we're going to go back to get the rug.
All of us going back to the tomb to get the rug out of there, I think.
Okay, so now we need to take a first break, but I just want to get it clear so we can roll right back in. When you go back, you're now going to be delving. You're going to be moving into uncharted territory and attempting to get back the normal way. That means that any retainers that are now with you will be splitting XP. Are you still bringing every single retainer with you?
No, I mean let's narrow it down. We'll after the break we can like pick the two or three.
Okay. I think just pitching we can decide during the break, but again, knowing that we have an ability to fetch more when we need them, we should put the majority of them back in the stash and have as silent a crew as we can move with while we're trying to get out of the situation we're in. And then if we need to retreat back and pull in muscle, we can, right? I think that's probably safer than like 12 guys, boots in a hall echoing, if you guys agree. But
no, I do love that idea. My one addendum to that is we are all beat to hell. So let's at least have Niall.
Oh, yes. Niall's there for sure.
Yeah. And can we have Niall? Matt, what kind of armor is Niall wearing?
What's he got on? Banded mail, I think.
Can we give him Avaricios's Ancient Archontian Lamellar?
Sure. Well, no, that's not the Ancient Archontian stuff. He was wearing the Azure Shield +1.
Oh, even better.
So there's a little bit more to that with Njal, obviously, because Njal, this would have been the first time that he's gotten the news and seeing the body of the person that he was sworn to protect. And basically the only reason he was with the AV Club. It is highly likely that Njal will probably be bereft. In fact, when he sees Avaricios' body, he basically breaks down. And he is basically inconsolable because he feels that he has completely failed in his duty. He was not present whenever Avaricios met his end. And he feels horrible that he was never able to repay his debt. So he basically feels like he is a complete failure in life.
I'm sorry, buddy.
I'm just kind of thinking realistically about what he would do. I don't think that money is going to keep him here. So he's going to leave. I think he's going to go solo. He actually might try to do like the Barrios thing and actually try to meet like an honorable end in the arena, because he doesn't have much more to live for. So he's probably going to take off. Speaking of that, before we go to break, are you taking Avaricios' body back?
Yeah,
We did bring his body back.
Okay, cool.
And I do want to pitch one thing. Sorry. My friend, I assume he intimated this on some level, but I just want to like plant in his mind the idea that it would be a great honor to Avaricios for Njal to barkeep in his shrine. Now, that's not being a retainer for us, but like as perhaps an idea.
I'm just being realistic. I don't think that. First of all, he doesn't worship Lycion, so he was more of like a personal bond to this particular person, regardless of the fact that Avaricios was a cleric. So the person that you're probably going to want manding that, if anybody, will probably be Visanya whenever she's actually able to recuperate, because she is wholly dedicated to Lycion. But that's up to you guys, whatever you want to do with her. But I don't think that.
What if we can we get Niall to stand to hang out if we tell him that we're gonna have Elizabeth reincarnate him?
I don't know. Let's take a break. Let's take a break.
All right. I just don't want him to do anything rash, John.
Well, he's not going to commit suicide or anything like that, but he definitely he's ready to leave. Okay. Anyways, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Bladder's empty, beer's full. Njal is going to leave. Yost is dead. Avaricios is dead. So the AV Club has been winnowed quite severely. So what retainers are you bringing with you out of here?
Sam, I guess.
Sam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sam.
Not Elizabeth then, right?
No, I think we should absolutely bring Elizabeth too, because she's still got. I mean, you cast the one spell, but she can still heal, and she can still do cure light wounds, obscuring mist. Yeah, she's
okay.
She's still good one.
I do have one question. What is the highest unused armor item we have now in terms of AC? Like I was wearing chainmail.
That's the stuff that Avaricios was wearing, which was the Knight of the Azure Shield plate.
What is the AC value of that, Matt?
That is a +1. I'll tell you. It is AC. The armor is 17.
Okay. That's one better than mine, but I'm happy to not switch. Maybe give it.
I just want to put on armor, but I am the least likely to be in the front line. So if you want to take it and then pass yours to me, Mike, I'm happy with that. I have a chainmail that's 14. So if you have better than that, I'm going to put on yours.
I mean, I have Arcanti and Lamellar, but I'm just going to run with that right now. I'm not going to swap because the Knights of the Azure Shield armor has a whole different component of like running into the wrong people and all the rest of that shit. So, yeah, I don't want to deal with that.
Okay.
So is everyone okay if I wear it? That's the thing. The point of me. Okay. I'm going to put that on.
Full of pieces of cooked Avaricious. So it's more about, are you okay wearing it?
It's like he's still with you.
It's a little kiss, it's an incense. It's appropriate for
Avaricios has got your back. Like literally he's all over your back.
All right.
Well, we got one more thing to solve. Who's wearing the 2 rings? So Gangrene is not going to keep it while y'all are running around. So who wants to wear the ring? Upier's got one on.
I have one of them on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Elizabeth will wear the other one.
Elizabeth?
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Titus.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead. Titus should do it. He's a PC.
Fine. Titus and Upior.
Okay. It takes a turn to get on the armor, Upior. I'm not going to roll for a saving throw for that armor with the flame strike, because it's magical and it's heavy metal. Okay. So now it is exactly noon. By the time you guys are ready to get going. Okay, so you guys are going to go east, correct? Let's move it over to Miro here. Let people take a gander at what's going on. Zoom in here. Okay, so by the time you guys all gather again, still the silence is still pervading in the room. But as you move into the corridor carefully, you fall out of that radius, and now you can hear yourselves. And you just kind of smell. There's still that strong smell in the hallway of her scent, right? Which was like those preserving spices, right? That kind of sweet preserving spices in the hallway.
Okay.
Otherwise, it is dark. Shining using what? The torch? What? Probably it'd have to be another torch now, or a lantern.
We need a new light source. If I don't have one anymore, so
okay, I'll light another torch.
Yeah.
But he's only got one left.
This is Titus. Okay.
Does Lothar have Avaricious's sack of Laurel?
Yes.
Okay.
I've got that. I have one more torch, plus I have a light spell. So we should be good for like 3 hours.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah. So what do you do? So you can see here that the torch is illuminating that it goes at least 30 feet from that doorway to the east, directly east, 5 feet wide.
Okay.
Now that we have a moment here where we're not just like in the middle of a fight, what's on these walls, John? Is it just plain passageway?
Just plain passageway, yeah. The only walls that actually had markings was the actual true tomb behind the illusory wall, which are painted blue and had mystical symbols on them, but they weren't like of a language or anything like that.
And last thing to clarify, when the mummy was like running around the room and doing stuff, and we were in the middle of this fight, she was literally like on the floor running around. She wasn't like
Correct.
Floating and hovering, right?
Nope.
Okay. Nonetheless, guys, we should watch the floor very carefully. This seems like traps coming on the way in would be very likely to protect this tomb.
And that in mind, it's a great point. We should like scatter some water from water skins on the floor so that we would see any sort of like vibration or step from her. Is that what you're saying? Oh, I guess she's gone. Never mind.
Yeah. Well, another thing we could watch for, John, I would imagine this has been kind of a dusty hallway. Can we see the path that she took?
You can, yeah.
That would be a good thing to follow then, if no traps were sprung.
Okay. So who's going first?
I will.
God.
I'll take the lead in the azure plate. Upior.
Okay.
Lead to Sally's forward.
Upior, you clank forward. Who's got the light? That's Titus.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
All right, Upior, you go to the 30-foot extension, and then you can see that it goes for another 30 feet and continues on from there as well. Keep going forward.
I do.
Okay. It goes for the light goes for another 20 feet at the end of that radius before it actually hits the light is actually illuminating a small staircase that goes upwards for the last 10 feet of the light radius.
Oh, that would make sense if we're going to connect. Okay.
Now, do I see, since I heard a stone door opening in the distance, are we sure that there isn't any stone or light emanating down those stairs, John?
There's no light emanating down the stairs.
And
Okay.
John, I'm following right behind him. So if True Sight has detected any magic secret doors, just let me know.
So indeed, Lothar, as you kind of come up behind near like the middle or the back of the party, and the stairways is illuminated, you can see that the stairway sort of goes up for about 10 feet and then ends in a blank wall. And you can clearly see that wall is definitely a sliding panel.
I give them the signal. Secret door right there. Shh.
You left
David.
You left the death mask on with Mort, right?
Yeah, I suppose we must have.
Mort's wearing the mask. Yeah.
Okay.
Just in oh damn, we should have thought about that. Just in case she's on the other side of that secret door, ready to fireball our faces, I'm gonna do a kind of like wait, I'll check it out kind of thing, and I'll walk up. If you guys want to hide behind
We have Titus with us, right?
Yeah.
Get that lightning bolt wand out, dude, and get ready.
Yeah, guys, can you pause the game for a second? I'm having a serious computer problem.
Sure. We'll be right back. Oh, okay. Ted's just working out a technical issue, but we're going to continue on. David will map until Ted gets back. And David has already done that and drew the long passageway here. So it does seem to align with the one of the two trumpet horns.
Jesus. What did we unleash on those beastmen, man? Jesus Christ.
Well, and that's a worthy question. Do we not hear the trumpeting?
Nope.
When she went through.
Nope.
Okay.
What's our story going to be when we come through this wall?
Cares. So
what do you do?
Shut up, beastman.
John, before I open the door, I want to check the topmost stair for any sense of like a pressure plate or triggers that might operate as an alarm trigger.
Sure. You guys are moving at 90, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
6. Okay, so it took a turn to get all the way to that point. And then you're going to take a turn to be very careful in checking for any traps. You do not sense anything there. However, being careful and using Lothar as a guide, you are able to sort of delineate the boundaries of the secret door, sort of, you know what I mean?
Do I see any switches?
Yeah, I should say so. Yeah, you do see a switch.
Okay. Matt, you have a valid point about expanders. Oh, we lost Ted. You have a valid point about everyone can hear me still, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The better part of Valor might be exiting and going south and leaving.
You guys can hear me, right?
Yep.
Yes.
We can hear you.
We can hear you. We can't see you.
Yes. No.
We can hear you.
Yes.
We can hear you. Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay.
What I was thinking is like there are going to be two cases, right? Like either we're going to open this door, there are going to be beastmen everywhere looking us right in the face, or we're going to open the door, nobody's going to be there. If the beastmen are there, we should have something ready to say. We're in hot pursuit of this mummy. Did you guys see it? Or or what's going on? We heard something going on this way.
Yeah.
And if nobody's there, then we should just get out of there.
Are there any spells in effect right now?
What's that? John?
Are there any spells that are active right now? There isn't, right?
No.
Okay.
Well, wait. Does David still have his levitate on? I don't even know.
I never used it.
Never used it.
Because yeah.
My big interaction that I want to have with the Beastmen is to get access to their exit. Right? Was it the Beastmen that had an exit to the surface, or was the Goblins? Yeah. And the Goblins?
No, the Beastmen do
Both.
Yeah, it's through the fungal cave. They have a way out.
Oh, shit. I mean, honestly, at that point, I might just want to go through the debouche room and just go down through the city.
Dude, no, that the dragons can be watching up there.
We should go out who I am.
We should go out the Beastmen. It goes right out to the cave.
The caves are terrifying.
The cliff face. No, they said that they had a path that was pretty well cleared and pretty well guarded, and they knew the way. Okay. And
guys, we have
if we stay on the path,
we have a fire portal that we've proven works that you can take directly to town.
You don't know that it will take you anywhere outside the dungeon.
Yeah. Also, doesn't that only work once a day?
We don't know the limitation.
We have no idea that it doesn't work more than once a day.
We established it will not. Remember you had Upior use it, and then it wouldn't work for him again.
For Upior, we don't know if it is a time thing or a per day per person or at all, right? And we are a matter of turns away from there, and Lothar, albeit solo if he needs to, trying that, which is a lot quicker than us like delving through the fungal caves or running from Cross. So I think it's worth, if you're worried about time on your survival with the Mimra, it's worth you trying it immediately.
Okay, I am very, I'm not going to lie. I am very worried about that. I also think Mort probably needs to get his blindness cured. So if Fire Portal is the fastest way to get to Gosterwick, and to Matt's point, there might be goblins that have high enough spell levels to try this shit, but I don't want to risk going down there, doing the whole negotiation and being like, and then finding out that they can't, because Then I got to go all the way back up, and then I got to do the other thing. For all I know, I'm going to be dead in a day, right? Like I have no idea how bad this is. It feels like it's way worse than just your normal average mummy rot.
Well, we have a rug, we have a return path, and we have a means of getting there and testing it quickly. And if it doesn't work, we can do another plan. That's all.
All right, let's do fire portal, man. I like fire portal idea, then. Let's do it.
Okay, but right now you're facing a blank wall that you know is a secret door. Are you going to do anything
open
here?
the door. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Upior, you open the door, and there is bright light that comes through, and you can hear actually noise as well. As your eyes adjust, you can see that it looks like there's a bunch of people in the Great Hall. And much to your surprise, and maybe perhaps to your delight as well, it appears to be a mix of goblins and beastmen working together to clear the area. So like when you first entered here, all those pillars were sort of broken in on the ground. So they're kind of cleaning that up. They're removing the blood stains. They appear to be, the two different species seem to be like wary of each other, but working in tandem. And they all seem to be working under the direction of that one count named Georgic, who was the pig-headed, one-legged older beastman, who's sort of gruffly ordering everyone around. And they don't appear to be distressed at all. They all are shocked whenever Upior sort of steps out from the trumpet, and some of them actually take out their weapons and they realize it's you, and they're like, we never knew that was there. And they some of them are actually looking at like the horn, the bell horn, and they're like, you see that some of the beastmen make mention of the fact that they've only ever used the bell horn to the south. There was two horns, and they only ever they have access to whatever's behind the wall where that other one is, but they've never actually used the other one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to raise my hand and say, "Be still, friends, quickly. Did this door open but moments ago?"
And they
An hour ago.
An hour ago, but they've all been here clearing rubble. They would have been here an hour ago.
Right.
they said that they didn't see anything or hear anything. They weren't particularly watching. They were distracted. But a couple of them do say that they did feel, and they're kind of embarrassed to say it, they felt a dread presence in the room, and they couldn't quite place it. And then the goblins sort of started laughing at them, and then they quickly sort of stopped mentioning it. And you see a couple of the goblins sort of tittering in a corner whenever they relate that story to you.
Do I see her like in the room? Is she like lurking somewhere?
Did I forget to mention that Nephrit's just in the corner watching you guys?
That would be awesome.
No,
that would be awesome.
You don't see Nephrit in there.
Here's the thing: we do know that her footprints are visible throughout the hall, and we know that the floor here is covered in detritus. Do if I immediately look below at the sort of cusp of this entry, do I see any like rubble pushed or anything that would indicate a direction of movement from it, John?
When the panel is sort of like a sliding panel, so it doesn't open up in an arc, right? So yeah, you don't really get an idea of,
But I'm talking about footprints.
No footprints, because the hall is pretty clean.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I got an idea. Actually, this might help expedite my problem here a little bit. So I will go talk to the Count, and I will tell him that I've been infected with a magical disease.
Ugh.
Do any of your people... No, it's not catching. You're fine. Do any of your people have the ability to cure magical diseases?
Let me dwell on it a moment as I look up the keyed room where our casters stay. One moment.
And I'm going to find the chief goblin in the room and ask them the same question.
Let's see. We need cure disease here. So, yes. Okay. So, first of all, yeah. So Georgic tells you that we have many strong witch doctors in the compound. There is one who is known to be able to remove curses, and her name is Ujax.
That's a curse, but what about disease?
Disease, I cannot say. If it was of a magical nature, Ujax would be the one.
Can I speak to Ujax? Will you have someone escort me to her?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Can I borrow that diamond or something else like costly? All right, cool. Do we want to go get Mort at the same time? Like, can someone run up and grab Mort and we'll both go see Ujax?
Sure. Lisbeth will run up and lead Mort back.
Just use the rug.
I do, John, before any of them go elsewhere, want to identify in my line of sight what if any of the doors in this room are open right now. AKA, I'm still triangulating where she may have run, and it's basically Debouchement, Beastmen, Debouchement, or, Fear Room.
So the main double doors are open.
Okay.
And all three of the barricaded rooms, the barricaded entrances to the east, are also open, but guarded by beastmen.
So either
my guess
north or
is
south.
she would go to she'd run into all those goblins and back up and work her way through the trash room towards the chair of seeing over the chasm.
That's just a guess. I thought that was closed though. The only ones that are open are the easterly doors and the double doors, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she could go through the double doors, go north into the room where the old barricade was, and move east through the trash room and the cephalopods towards the Toristas tombs and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking she would do.
So she probably went to the double doors, we're thinking. I'm just putting us on our heels. We're going to go back to the Debouchement and find all of the people we know dead.
So a turn goes by, and one of the beastmen returns with what you assume to be Ujax. So Ujax is a female beastman. She is rat-headed, and she is wearing what appears to be like ancient Arcantian dress, but it's much more like not militant, right? Like it's more like robes, things like that. Picture like a Roman senator sort of thing, right? And she comes out and asks who the ill person is. Immediately sizes up that it's Lothar, and hustles over to you. And she looks over at Georgic for permission, and he just kind of gives like a tight nod. And he just he says something, and you can catch it underneath his breath, and it just says "Mother wills it," is what he tells Ujax.
Nice.
She puts her hands on you, and she casts Remove Curse, which removes the mummy rot.
Yeah.
Hey.
Do I heal those ability score damages?
You do, yes.
Amazing. Okay.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
I'm sorry. She's a sheep person, not a rat person.
Sheep-headed.
Oh, that changes everything.
Yeah.
Can she administer any help for Mort?
That's the other question.
Oh, she is actually wearing armor. She's wearing ringmail. Okay, never mind. Whatever.
I'd like to present her with a gift, John. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. I don't know what to give her. Guys, that diamond might be
Give
a
her the
little bit
diamond.
more. It's 2,500 gold, though.
We put all that stuff in the
That's
it's all in the,
stuff's back in
it's
the
all put away.
in the-
However, Titus squirreled away a couple of expensive rings we found at one point for just such an occasion. It's still quite a valuable ring. It's like 1,000 gold piece ring.
That's perfect though, because we already got XP for it. So cool. Can I present that to her?
Titus will slip you a little something.
What are you presenting? Sorry.
So we found, and I could track down.
You don't need to track it. I just missed it. What are you giving her?
A solid platinum ring worth 1,250 gold.
Wow, easy come, easy go, huh, guys? All right. She's I'll remember that next time I go for the big hordes. So you give her the platinum ring, and she's very, very pleased with that. In fact, you might think that she might actually have a little eye for you there, Lothar. So quite a gift.
Well, now that I'm not taking the -2 charisma from the mummy rot, I'm getting a +2 charisma from the circlet. So I actually have a 15 charisma.
Oh, you're wearing the circlet?
This circlet of like whatever.
I thought you took that off before we walked into the hall with you wearing it in front of an
No, we've
entire
been using
group.
the truth seeing the whole time.
No, I know, but I thought
But I
the
have my
agreement was
cowl
that-
up.
Oh
I have
no!
my cowl up.
When you
we
enter,
did discuss not
when you
flashing the
enter
crowd.
the hallway with the Iron Circlet of Gonor on,
Oh my god!
the goblins
We
don't
never
seem.
said that, David. Don't give me that look. We never said that.
Conversation in the hallway, man. You
What-
that's why we decided to see if you could take it off.
The goblins don't
Yeah.
seem to care.
Yeah,
They
David,
are-
we confirmed it comes off, but we didn't say he takes it off and puts it in his pocket at all. That was not part of it.
No. It's fine. I'm not trying to give Mike shit. We checked it, and the conversation that I think Mike himself said was, okay, good, because if I need to take this off in public, I can, so we don't flash it around. So I'm giving him
specifically
shit
said
now.
Gosterwick, though. I specifically said Gosterwick. Like, if we're gonna go through.
Hey, baby, I love this. Let's go.
Okay.
Go on, what happened?
Okay, so
All right,
when you enter into the hallway, going back, the goblins don't seem to take any. They're just as surprised as anyone else to see you guys, but they don't seem to take any undue notice of the circlet. However, the beastmen, Georgic especially, do. As they see you emerge from there with that on, there's a lot of double takes, like they can't quite believe what they're seeing, and everyone seems to shy away from you. And then all the beastmen eyes, they all stop working. The goblins get a little bit irritated as they're sort of like lugging around the heavy pieces of stone, but they all can't stop. They can't stop staring at you. And then you sort of present your case about how you're dying from mummy rot, and ask about their witch doctor. And it basically the same stuff happens, but with much more urgency. Right? They quickly run and grab Ujax, and she comes flying back. She comes to a skittering halt when she sees you wearing it, and she forgets that you have mummy rot. And she actually voices. It appears like she regrets voicing it when she says it, but she actually exclaims. She goes, "The Iron Circlet of Gonor," as she kind of comes out, and George looks at her in astonishment. As she could basically confirms to everyone what everyone is thinking that possibly could be, and they're basically stunned, and they said, "Where did you get this?"
John, can I ask a real question or a quick question? When you say everyone turns and looks, because you also mentioned it earlier before this slight redaction when he asked for when I forgot the commander's name, said Mother wills it. Observing this, do I get a sense that they are like extra perceptual, as if like someone's seen through them? You know what I mean? Like, is this a body snatcher? So they're just normally behaving and observing themselves.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. Cool. So, okay. George, where did you get this?
All right. Have they cured me of mummy rot?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So all that has happened at this point.
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm just going to tell them that there is, and now that we've looted that room, it doesn't matter if they go and look at it. So I'd be like, there is a secret door right there that leads down a long passageway that went to a priestess named Neferet's tomb, and we retrieved it from there.
You have one of the ancient regalia. Do you understand what this means?
I do.
You must give it to Dano. You must give it to Mother.
Well, we certainly could talk about that.
You have no claim to it. It is too powerful for you. Take it off your brow.
But if I have to, I'll mass charm them all. Just be like, man.
They look like horribly offended. Like whenever you would confirm that you too think it's the Iron Circlet, that you are not worthy of wearing it. They're getting more and more agitated. Like they're getting angry now.
Does Mort show up at this point?
Why would Mort show up?
Because Elizabeth went to go get him.
Yeah, Elizabeth went to go get him in hopes that they might be able to that Ujax might be able to cure his curse as well.
You didn't hear that, John?
No, I missed that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, sure.
I mean, worthy to claim it. I don't understand what claim Mother would have for it. It was by might of our arms that we regained it from a horrible monster.
That is one way to put it. Some would call it tomb raiding. Some would call it desecration.
We've suffered many losses. We've lost heroes this day. heroes of Arden Vul fell to recover this artifact from the clutches of evil in the tomb.
He kind of holds up hands like he doesn't want to cause trouble, but you can see that he's not going to give up on the point. Like he kind of holds up his hands and then he sort of points at you and gestures at your skin color and your build. And says, "You are not even Arcantian. Even more of a blasphemy. You are not of the blood."
I've grown up in the Empire. You know, the Arcantian Empire is huge now, right? They conquered my lands many years ago.
Only those of the blood who are descended from the blood may wear the crown.
Well,
remove it.
May very well be that may very well be true, but however, there is an entire Arcantian city not far from Arden Vul, and their ruler there has asked us to retrieve these things. Are you going to say that the ancient houses of Arcantia don't have claim to this artifact?
If you are so selfless, if you have been charged with returning the regalia, then take it off and put it in the bag, for you would have no desire to use it.
I will wear it to protect it until I can return it to its rightful owners.
You have no right to wear it. He puts a hand on his sword.
Ooh.
I'm backing up towards the double doors, by the way.
His beastmen obviously follow suit. They don't want trouble. Yeah. They look like, oh, shit.
All right. I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to put it, I'll wrap it reverently in like an extra cloak or something in my backpack and put it in my backpack and be like, this will not leave my presence until it enters into the royal family of Arcantia.
If we see it upon your brow in our presence, we cannot guarantee your safety.
Understand.
And we will be open since you have facilitated a great alliance between us and the goblins, and he gestures to them. I will tell you this in good faith, that we will be informing Mother of this.
Okay.
She must know that the Iron Circlet has been found.
Okay. I mean, we're going to go find all the rest of them too, just so you know. We're really good at this.
They look very, very unhappy when you say that. There's nothing they can really do, but they look very unhappy.
Recovered? Don't they want them recovered so the Arcantia can regain its glory in the halls of Arden Vul?
Do you ask them that?
Yeah.
They idolize the Arcantian way of life, but they don't pretend to have any sort of claim to inherit their glory, right? They just sort of mimic it, sort of.
Got it. Okay.
But they do recognize them as items of power and items of power that deserve to go to only certain people. And you are one of them.
I can tell you that by aiding us, you aid the powers of Arcantia, and they will remember your faithful service and heap glory upon you.
They remain silent and wary, but they don't seem to like. They take their hands off their swords.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we need those spaceships real fast, guys. My ass ain't using a melee weapon for the next 20 seconds. Del 5 ended with 3 episodes.
All right. I think we should get out of here. Or more, do you really think they're going to heal you at this point? I don't know if they will.
Well, we could ask her.
Yeah.
Of course, Mort's wearing the mask of Touristas.
They've seen that before, though.
Yeah, no, I know. Friends, let us not enter into strife. Let us remember that we are...
Turn a little bit so you hear the ghost of... You were facing the wrong way.
Oh. Sorry. Yeah, anyway, I'll try and diffuse things a little bit with some of Mort's friendliness and inquire as to the health of my friend Lothar and his loathsome disease. And if Ujax is in a talking mood, maybe she'll be convinced to do something about my eyes as well.
So Ujax doesn't have the ability to do that. However, she does admit, and she does it sort of cagily, that she does have a colleague of hers named Thurk, who is another witch doctor who would be able to remove that blindness. And she asks you pointedly with one raised eyebrow on her sheep head, Would you like me to retrieve Thurk?
I would very much like to not be blind, O mighty Ujax.
Give me one moment, please. And then she goes back into the compound. Much longer than it took to get Ujax. Much longer. You have to wait.
Oh, yes.
For probably about another, I'd say 2 turns.
Oh, geez. What the heck's Thurk been doing?
She comes back with Thurk, who happens to be another witch doctor. This one is male. It's a dog man this time around. Thurk comes up to you, and you can see that there's like a glow of power in his hand. And he rests that hand upon Mort's brow lightly, and then he turns to the rest of you, because Mort can't see him, obviously. And he says, we would be more than happy to return Mortis J. Gobliano to his sight. However, the price, Mother has determined, is the Iron Circlet.
Damn it. David, you're right. Okay. Sorry,
No,
Dave.
don't
Sorry,
dude, this
Dave.
is awesome. This is awesome. I would have. Don't feel guilty. This is amazing. I was giving you shit, but
You see
this is
Georgic
exciting.
have like a really like smug, shitty smile on his face as he kind of crosses his arms and just waits to see how it all plays out.
Uh-huh.
Thank you very much, Thurk. I appreciate your time. I'm sorry to have troubled you, but for the House of Basilion and the Mind of Arcantia, I will happily stay blind for the nonce.
They look surprised, a little bit impressed. And you see like the goblins in the corner who are all just sort of watching this with wide eyes. They're all like, the legend of Mort increases, you know what I mean? As you refuse to be cured, they're like, but that's a fucking goblin right there.
All right, so Mort will bow to the wrong direction. Thank you, Matt. And yeah, exactly. And then head back to the debouche, where he will, I think, attempt to make good use of his ability to detect lies, which doesn't apparently require eyesight at all. So,
Okay. I can hand wave that. That's fine. So you go back down the tunnel and yeah. Okay. All right. So let's take our second break and we will pick it up right when we get back. We'll be back.
Okay.
Okay. We are back. Bladder's empty, beer's full. Where were we? Discussing.
I think we won.
Trying to
We're
decide
taking
what
more to the goblins. Taking more to the goblins.
Yeah. So Mort goes back. Titus is still there. Drive a character. That's great. So the decision now is: we've cured Lothar. Are we going for the fire portal, or are we going to go through the caves? Or we don't have to go to Gostwick right now at all.
We don't need to.
Except we've got the Iron Circlet we could go give to Lady Alexia.
I do want to.
This is a whole
And the note.
conversation. This is the whole conversation that we probably could say for the detox.
Sure.
But so let's solve Mort's blindness problem first.
Why don't we
There's
check with? Yeah, I'm sorry. We're talking.
There's no pressure on Mort. I've got Titus. We're playing. We're delving. Mort's fine where he is. He can be blind for a while.
So in this room in the Great Hall, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So
I think we're leaving the Great Hall, John. I think we're going back up to the debouche room.
But I think we are ignoring the most immediate, beyond obviously our illnesses of issues, which is that we have a practically godlike boss monster wandering, and we should be very shrewd with seeing where we think she went, which means we don't just storm back to the doors. We should look at the floor, look at the doors on the way to the back. We should treat this like a dungeon crawl, in my opinion, before there's a bunch of foot traffic, because the tracks are very fresh.
Well, one of the things is, David, is it's like I kind of want to get out of Beastman territory so we can use the circlet again for the true seeing, right? Because the last thing we don't want to do is like walk by and have her like hanging out in the corner, like all invisible and shit.
I 100% agree. I just want to do the best we can to try to deduce where she did or did not go. So if we're going back to debouchement, all I'm saying is let's not hand wave going back. Let's discuss the process of going back with that in mind.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Okay. So you're going to make your way through the double doors and attempt to go back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the Beastmen sort of watch you warily. Georgic has that kind of small little smile on his face as he's like, oh, we'll see you again. That sort of thing, But it's like everyone's talking and whispering about it now back in the Great Hall as you sort of leave. You go through the double doors into that entrance hall there, 20 feet wide. And you, let's see. Yeah, one of the doors has an ibis on it. The other one has a feather. But regardless, whatever. You know that there's those arrow slits that look from the northern area right there too. Those still appear to be manned. But you also hear goblins to the north coming down from that corridor.
Okay.
So as you turn the corridor, you can see first of all that torches, sconces have been installed along the entire passageway there, and so it's pretty well lit. And the door at the far end of the hall, all the way to the north, is open. In addition, the door on the western wall, which leads into the former guard post, is also open. And remember that part of the agreement with the alliance was that would be sort of divested, right? Like the beastmen would not guard it, against goblins anymore, right?
I think we should
Go ahead.
I think we should look in there with the circlet.
Yeah, if there's no beastmen watching, I think Mike could go ahead and put that thing back on.
Okay.
And maybe, get a hat or something to put over
I
it.
was like, I'll pull the hood up of my cloak and cover it. Like, John, is this thing? How big is this thing? Is it like a crown?
It's
or
pretty
is it
big.
Just literally a circlet.
It's black iron, so it's more like a crown, like a thick crown. And then there's a huge black opal that takes up your entire forehead, basically. Right?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But a cowl, you could wear a cowl, but if anyone decided to give any sort of time to look to try to see your features under that cowl, they would see the circlet as well.
David, could Upior hide it with an illusion of some kind?
Not currently.
Okay.
I mean, I will say that we have Onweir's old favorite hat, which was a giant conical Nefertiti thing, which would be probably pretty good at hiding a thing like that. But I think the point John's getting at, which is useful for us to know, right, is at a few yards they may not see it, right? But if we're in conversation with someone, it's going to be pretty obvious.
Right.
So you need to just avoid an intimate distance with anyone for now if you're wearing it, I think.
Okay.
Anyways, when you put it on in the corridor, you don't see any secret doors.
Okay. Do we smell like that scent from her in the hallway?
That's a good question. You do not.
Very good question.
You also didn't smell it when you
went this way. Oh, go ahead, John. Sorry.
You also didn't smell it when you entered the Great Hall.
Maybe because it's a bigger room, though.
Probably.
Okay.
Is
I'm
it,
wondering
guys?
if there's another exit that we didn't see in that initial hall.
Well, she could have gone into the fear room. There's whole areas in there that we never explored.
Yeah.
And we have no idea what's
Do we
down
want to
there.
do we want to take the second to duck back through those double doors and stick our noses down that 20-foot narrow hallway and see if we smell it there? Because that's
Kind of, but I also don't want to poke the bear full of beastmen in there.
That's what I'm kind of feeling too, Matt. I kind of
I
feel
think
like
we missed our shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's.
I say we keep going north.
What we do know is that the westerly door was closed, but both the the westerly fear room door was closed, but the west door in this hall and the north door are open.
Correct.
You also, if we didn't smell her in the Great Hall, we're probably not going to smell her anywhere. So I don't think scent is a reliable thing. What I was saying, although I think the circlet would have revealed it, is I wonder if there wasn't another secret stone exit in the actual tomb hall, but I don't. If we would have seen it, so
The goblins felt the dread, or the beastmen felt the
they
dread.
felt the dread. Yeah, so I think she did come
She
through,
went
but we're just
through
not going
there.
to smell it.
And Lothar was wearing the circlet as he moved through the corridor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So why don't we go look in the where we first saw the beastmen there? Do
all
wanna
right,
do
you
that?
guys go first. So we don't run into any beastmen type thing, and then I'll kind of come up behind.
So you do see that as you open the door that there are some beastmen sort of lounging around in there, but they don't seem to be doing anything weird. You know what I mean? Like suspicious. They're just sort of moving things around, seem to be packing things up, that sort of thing.
Good question, lads.
they
Did you
jump up.
sense a terrible feeling of dread a few moments ago?
They sort of look at you like, no, not really.
Excellent news. Sorry to trouble you.
Good work.
Good job.
The goblins that were coming through the hall, John, have we interacted with them yet?
No, you hear them beyond the door to the north.
I see.
You hear a lot of racket and noise coming from.
I think that's where she went, y'all. Do we want to look in this door we haven't explored in the Beastman Barrack area, or just go north for now?
Is it dodgy for me to go through the room with the circlet on? Because they'll go tell
Beastman in there. Don't do it, man. There are Beastman in there.
Let's just go north then. Yeah.
So going through the door,
what
you
door
open.
did we? Oh, that door. I see it.
You go into the north through into the barricade room, which you now have to relabel because the goblins are actively taking down that barricade.
Ooh, good job, boys.
It'll always be the barricade room to me, John.
Yeah, I'm not going to erase my barricade because I'm really happy with the little drawing.
Wow. Okay. Just, completely just throwing that back in my face. All right. The barricade stays.
John,
I'll tell you what. I'll erase the middle of it. There. How's that?
Perfect.
John, I'm going to pose the same question about a dreadful feeling to the goblins who are clearing it. Hello, chaps. Has there been any strange that's washed over here? Any cold winds that you felt?
Just Bill's fart just the other day, but
Nice. Cheers, Bill.
You nutty goblin.
the answer is
All
no.
right.
Yeah. Oh man, I hope she's not talking to Mother right now.
It's a possibility.
It's a high possibility. Okay.
Took a turn to get to this.
Well,
2 turns actually. Titus, you don't need the torch.
So why don't we look in the trash room real quick and see if any evidence of lich footprints show up in there?
And secret doors. I mean,
Yeah.
we might as well knock off secret doors here.
Yeah.
The trash room? What's the trash room?
Immediately to the east of the barricade room. It was a
One
room
with
full of
the-
trash.
One with the pillar written in Dwarvish.
Gotcha.
With a dwarven cart. Yeah.
And once again, we don't have Breggy with us.
Yeah, so this has a whole bunch of trash with six stone columns in it.
Any footprints or
There
invisible
is
liches waiting?
There's nothing new. There was something at the base of one of the pillars, and I believe that there was a dead end for you guys. Probably still a dead end because it was written in Dwarvish.
Right.
Yeah, we wrote it down on a shield to go show it to Breggy, and then we never remembered to do it.
Yeah, Wolford and Breggy probably know back at the Debishmont right now.
Do we see anything with the circlet though? Any switches or secret mechanisms?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's a good thing you did, David. As long as you're wearing the circlet, please remind me. When you enter, because I'm never going to remember that shit. But yeah.
Until we're so annoying about it that you're just like, yes. I know you have true saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mike, I think you got to take that thing off every time you leave a room, man.
You think?
Because anywhere around, there could be somebody that we don't want to know that we have it until we do whatever we decide we're going to do with it.
Right.
Okay. So what do you do?
Guys, are we going to the fire portal room to?
Yeah,
Are we going on to Goblin Town?
Go ahead, Ted.
Well, okay. So, do we want to give the iron circlet to Lady Alexia along with the butt note?
This is part of like what I thought was going to be a longer discussion. So,
well, and I understand that, but like the decisions of what to do next are kind of predicated on that.
I absolutely agree. So the thing is personally, every single faction leader that knows that we have it is basically going to want it, right? So, is the circlet powerful enough to overcome any of these faction leaders? It's the answer. Mass charm is probably sick, but it's almost it feels like a piece of currency. So, which faction do we want to buy with the circlet, right? We're already in with the Beastmen, but now not so much because they want this thing, right? Same thing's going to happen with the Goblin King. And so my one thing I would be like is it's kind of like let's pick a faction that we want to basically be in with, and then let's use it as currency with them. And the one thing about Lady Alexia is I love the idea, but she's far away, man, from Gosterwick. Or she's in Gosterwick. There's not a lot she can actually do to help us,
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Sort of like she's a great faction to support if you want to retire in Gosterwick and have a mansion. If you want to be here in Arden Vul, we should be the faction.
We
So,
are
guys,
the faction, guys.
Yeah. I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
More information that we can get fairly easily and fairly quickly that we can feed into this algorithm that we're trying to figure out. We have to figure out what we're going to do with Barrios, right? That's the captive, the Beastman captive that we have, who has offered us information on Mother in exchange for his freedom, right? Let's go talk to him. Let's find out this information on Mother. Maybe we love her. Maybe she's the best thing ever and we do want to give it to her. Or maybe she's the worst monster ever and we need to do whatever we can figure out to not let her have it.
I will throw yet another wrinkle in this conversation. We kind of, for lack of a better description, learned almost immediately that the power attributed to the Regalia is associated with blood, with factions that have a very violent tendency. One might call them ethno-nationalist adjacent. and purchasing their favor is an impossibility, I think. I don't think we're going to go to someone and be like, we'll give you the circlet if. I think they're going to be like, well, thank you very much. Who the fuck are you anyway? Second, we know the location of the secret library, which is a cipher to where every other Regalia item probably is. We know at least pretty close to another Regalia item in Clementia's Respite. And we know where all of the spaceships are. And I'm a broken record, but if this is an arms race and we have a loose knower of secrets who might know where all of their buddy is buried, we kind of got to get them before she does. In other words, like the clock that's ticking here, if we're not hunting her actively, is not letting her get every item but the one we have.
Right.
And so the fire portaling in my mind is either a fire portal to the library to figure out where all those are, or a fire portal back to Clementia's with all of these like abilities to see now to clear our passage to the second Regalia item. Because I think you're correct in that all of these factions are going to be pressing down on us, but we have no leverage or power to resist that pressure.
We have no
other
leverage
than to give it. At which point, if we're going to give it anyway, we might as well go find the other ones as quickly as possible.
So, and David, you bring up another really good point. Neferet is not just going to be like, oh, well, I lost it. No big deal. That bitch going to be finding us, finding me, man. This is why I'm like, I've got a big expiration date on my forehead because I've got a ancient mummy, at least one faction leader, and probably very soon when the goblins find out about it, another faction leader. They're all going to be looking for it. Not to mention, it's not like Goblin Town is like locked down information wise. And we know that there's Varomani like dudes in that area. They're going to hear about it. And once the trolls know about it, it's almost like game over at that point. Like
there's also trolls in the Beastman compound too. And
to use another analogy for that reason, right? I think it's important for us to engage in these factions. I love engaging the factions. And everything that you guys are suggesting, I think is very valid. But I don't think we're in an opportunity right now where engaging in horse race politics is more important than the moon race. Like we are literally at a nuclear or a moon race scenario right now. It is an exponential power race, not a who will we elect next race. Right. And if we get really just like mired in being the favorite of a political conflict, we're going to lose that. Someone else is going to the moon. They're getting all the regalia, and we are subservient to whatever their whim is at that point. Anyway, so offering that subservience out the gate is a lose-lose. I think we just have to get the regalia, guys.
Yeah, I don't mind that idea. And can I just say one thing that might be super fun is to take this thing with its mass charm right on down to Garalad's house and be like, hey, bitch, we here.
That's what I'm saying. No, we go to the library. I think we fire portal to the library with the rug. We get all of the information we want out of it. And then when we're ready, we open the door into the Garalad area. And we close the chapter of that book, no pun intended. Because now we have a key to the other regalia locations, more than likely. Right? And we have an ability to severely mitigate the 8 problem. And at minimum, we can escape and leave the rug there for a while. We lose the rug. But again, that's so much more pressing than talking to Alexia, which even, I'm sorry, but from a meta standpoint, is like opening a chapter of lore rather than getting something done. right? In a big way, I think. And we have the keys to doing the thing without the lore right now, which we should probably engage with, is what I'm suggesting. Like, take the shortcut, not the long way
I kind
back.
of like his idea. I feel like we're only going to have this thing for a while. We might as well make some use of it because it's only a matter of time before something bigger and badder than us is like, give it to me. And we're going to be like,
well, that just happened about 20 minutes ago.
And not only that, we know, as we've discussed, the last point I'll say, because I don't want to dominate any longer, is we know much like the goblins are fecund in like a hard power sense, they're militarized. Mother is the hegemonic soft power queen. She's Cleopatra, right? Like, she is going to brainwash goblins one by one in the next week, and half the goblins are going to be on her fucking side. So this before the circle was even an issue. The allegiance and the party that she was proposing throwing, I think, is a timer that we have to be very aware of, because that allegiance is going to be a different allegiance than we think with the one we crafted, I think, very soon, because of her ability to
cast Mass Charm with this circlet, John? And also, I was looking in the OSC SRD, and I don't have any of these spells. Like, I mean, there's no True Seeing in the SRD, and there's no Mass Charm that I found.
True Seeing is there.
True Seeing is in there? I must have just missed it.
What are we looking up? Mass Charm?
Mass Charm, yeah.
One per day.
Once per day, but like, do you know offhand the effects?
Yeah. It's very nasty. Works as charm monster. Total hit dice limits the number of creatures affected. Cannot affect a total number of hit dice more than twice his or her caster level. All the target creatures must be within a 30 by 30 foot area.
I mean, that's 10 hit dice of monsters right there, baby.
Has a range of 5 feet per level.
And so 25 feet. I'm actually like one of the higher level casters at this point. So it's like 25 feet and 10 hit dice. That's pretty sick.
I'm just saying that is a very strong move. I think we use the artifacts that we have before they're taken from us by 50 men, is what I'm getting at. Right? Like, at which point it will be used against us. The Mass Charm will be on us, right? Like, the minute Mother gets this, we are employed by Mother. Like, in fiction, I don't know why we wouldn't be, right? Like, so now we're running from the debouchement and hiding elsewhere? I don't know, man.
Dude, we can't afford to have that Goblin King taking our goddamn stash area.
I know.
Well,
I know.
So, yeah, that's what I've been sitting here pondering is we talked about moving the stash down to Eustace's level.
Yeah.
And I still like this, but getting in and out of that level, if you don't have a safe place to put the other rug, is tricky.
Well, getting in and out of that level without Eustace killing us all is also a little wrinkle.
Yeah. I mean, the first delve we can transport to the exact room we want to and skip Eustace entirely. The danger of Eustace is retrieving the rug rather than leaving it there permanently, which I think we should do. Yeah. But if all we're doing is transferring and leaving one rug there for a bit, or leaving that rug there as the new, stash rug, and then coming back to the pyramid and taking that rug as our mobile rug, whatever the assortment is, we can just teleport to the room that's safest. We don't have to fuck around with Eustace. We can go straight to the cave outside the spaceship, chamber.
Right. My point is, like, okay, we go to the fire portal. We say, Genie, take us to room 7 or whatever it is, and we go there and we lay the rug down and we move all the treasure. And now we've got a rug in the pyramid and a rug down in that level. And we can get to the debouchement very easily, but now we don't have the whole, oh, never mind. That's stupid. What am I saying? We just go get the other rug and take it with us wherever we want to go. I don't know what I was thinking.
What we lose is access to the fire portal to play this trick a lot, right? And so the one thing I would say, because I agree that I've been pushing for it, that maybe if we were weighing between going to the library or going to Eustace first, the one advantage of trying to resolve the library is that the plunger system is connected to Plunger Town, and that is a teleportation network. And so if we can get Garrelad out of the picture in that regard, it secures us a lot more, like, mobility, right? In that sense, I think.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if we went straight to the library right, with the fire portal, just say, take us to the secret library. That might not make a bad stash if it's totally secret to everybody.
He's trying to get in, but yeah.
Yeah.
Not if we kill him first. I mean, that's the thing.
Well, again, we've tried to kill him at a much more powerful level and got our butts handed to us.
We did, but we didn't have mass charm.
That's without me being able to charm the giant monkey. Although I don't know if that charm you can get him to turn against his father kind of thing. It's like the classic charm, right, John? You can get them to do things that they now are your friend, but they won't necessarily do something completely out of character, right?
No, exactly. They just view you as a very good friend and will do.
Right. We can't tell them to kill Garrelad, basically.
Yeah.
Sure. But we can set up. Look,
we could check.
Nepheret was exponentially more dangerous than Garrelad, I can guarantee you. That doesn't mean Garrelad's trivial, right? But what made us hostile to Nepheret was our items, spell scrolls, things like that. Ultimately, none of our class abilities mattered in the end, right? Like, we were screwed. I mean, it's just it was a brilliant thing. But like, so I agree, Matt. But I think like the circlet and the Tauristus mask, and lightning bolt wand, our ability to perceive him if he tries to go invisible, which was the big threat with him as he popped invisible. We'll see him. He can't hide from us. Now, I'm not saying we go find him right now. I'm saying we can go to the library, right? And then exit as we see fit with more safety, whether we decide to confront him or not. At minimum, we could probably exit Plungeton another time without him getting us. If he's alive. I mean, there were feathers on the throne last time. We don't know what's up with Garrelad,
So we're closing in on closing time here. It seems like all signs are pointing towards the fire portal one way or the other. Where you're going to the fire portal is another matter. Is that fair to assume?
Say that, phrase that again, John.
Is the fire portal is where you're going? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Where we go is another matter. Yes. So should we?
Who's going to the fire portal?
Lothar.
Should we do that teleport thing like we did last time? So no one knows that's where we're going? I think we should.
Wait, then are we
we go to the
rug?
No, we go to the teleport circle in the debouchement. We go to the Hall of Seeing and come down the staircase and then go to the fire portal.
I see.
That way no one knows we've gone to the fire portal.
Yeah.
Sure. It's wise.
Okay.
And just a reminder, what someone else has to do the command word because Mort and I already have. So it would have to be Lothar.
We might have to camp for a day or something too.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to teleport there then.
So we go to the debouchement.
Yeah, you go to the debouchement.
Yeah.
Well, if we're going to do that, and I'm fine with it, but we've got to leave Wolford. All this magic teleporting and stuff is garbage for him.
Yeah, this is going to be a big problem because our biggest power is our ability to teleport. How are we going
to?
Well, the answer is clear. Mort will ride Wolford like Master Blaster. And,
are you taking Mort, by the way?
Well, I wasn't gonna because he's blind.
Why don't we just take a little bit of time that it would take to check with the goblins in the debouchement to see if they know if their people down by the king could get rid of his curse.
That's wise. That's wise.
Because don't forget, there's a teleport circle in the Goblin Town too, Ted.
That's true. Okay.
In fact, we can just teleport down there rather than walking down through the wet caves and shit because we got the address for that one.
Yep.
You could.
But maybe the Mask of Tauristus and the Iron Circlet we should hide.
I think we should at least carry them on us. They're not doing us any good if they're sitting in the pyramid.
Put them in Laryl's pouch. You got to hold it with two hands.
But then it's yeah.
They can't be detected. Nobody would know that they're there. You're just holding your little bag.
Okay, so are we diverting now and are we going down to Goblin Town instead of the fire portal then? first?
I think we're going down to Goblin Town with Mort to see if we can. If we can ask the goblins in the debouche if that's even a thing.
If there's witch doctors that are available, you mean?
Yeah, if there's witch doctors that are powerful enough to remove like blindness and stuff like that.
I'm going to remove the Azure plate as well, just FYI, and stow it.
Let's see. Yes, there is one witch doctor. Her name is Hobeam.
Oh, Hobeam, yeah.
Hobeam, and she can help you out with that. Although it'll probably cost you a significant chunk of change.
On a side note, we should probably do something with Avaricius and Yost's bodies. When you're just sitting with our treasure right now.
Mm-hmm.
Should we
also
them?
When Yost passed away, Oculos with a resounding ring fell out of his hand and onto the ground. And that eye in the center of the cross guard beams up at you. Do let me know if you pick up Oculos.
Oh, the temptation. No. Does anyone want Oculus?
Titus might be the only one who can actually use it, right?
Why?
Who could?
Titus.
Oh, Titus could probably brain power his way through it, but he could use a two-handed sword, I guess. Yeah.
Anyone can use a two-handed sword except for like small people. Like Breggy can't.
What's Titus's strength?
You said Breggy could not earlier, or Goran could not have.
Yeah, Breggy cannot, and clerics cannot.
Right.
Titus is strength 14. So he's all right.
I'm strength 17. So if we want to, do you think you're going to use Titus in melee or no?
I mean, yeah. If I have to, I'd prefer to not get killed. But
all right, well, let's figure that out offline.
Yeah, I don't need it right now, personally.
So Oculus is not going on the journey with you?
Oh,
I'll pick up Oculus if you're not going to have it. I'll take it.
You have to have a test of wills with it. It could take over your brain. You gonna do it?
I mean, I don't have any artifacts. I might as well. Y'all got these cool masks and circlets. I want something. You know what I mean? Like,
take the magic two-handed sword of brain jelly.
Upior, wearing the Imperial, the Azure shield armor, looking every bit the warrior rather than the mage, stoops down and picks up Oculos and immediately enters into a battle of wills for who will be the master and who will be the wielder. What is your alignment? Neutral, really?
Uh-oh. It's a good sword.
Okay. What is your strength plus wisdom added together?
17 plus 14 is 20, 30, 31? What is that? 31.
31. Are you at less than full hit points?
No, I'm at full hit points.
Okay. And so your total is 31?
31.
All right. So it takes a moment, but you are able to wrest control of Oculos. And he submits to you.
All right.
I would probably say that you would probably also get that same vision of the knight that bore him as well. No, you know what? You know what you would get is you would get the last thing that Yost saw.
The mummy.
So it brings a wave of sadness over you as you witness Yost's death again. But now you do have Oculos as your intelligence sword, and he's happy to empathically communicate with you. So enjoy. You have Oculus, and then the last thing kept on bringing it up, and this time I'm just going to force the issue. One of you actually decides to pull out that piece of parchment and read it, and I'm going to read it to you.
Yay!
Because
thank you, John. Thank you.
It's important, but no one seemed to want to jump on it. So here we go.
Mark can't read; he's blind.
To Nefret, glorious priestess from Hellas, humble librarian. Greetings. Oh. I am working to accommodate your request to transport the contents of the special library to your new residence. Alas, the flight of so many of our acolytes, the evils of the present age, and my own decrepitude has delayed their transfer. I will seek to fulfill your wishes in good order. Okay.
Nefret hung out on the Ruby Throne, y'all.
Does sort of
I-
seem like
That
that.
might be Puncher Town. Might be Nefret's domain. That library is
Makes a lot of
important. That library is important. She's gonna go to that library, and she can open the magic seal if Geralad can't. We got to go to that library ASAP.
Hellas, by the way, the
I-
humble librarian whose handwriting this is Hellas.
So she was. Can you read it again, John?
To Neferet, glorious priestess, from Hellas, humble librarian, greetings. I am working to accommodate your request to transport the contents of the special library to your new residence. Alas, the flight of so many of our acolytes, the evils of the present age, and my own decrepitude has delayed their transfer. I will seek to fulfill your wishes in good order.
Yeah.
And that was crumpled up in a corner with a bunch of other junk in the true tomb.
So everything's
She's the keeper of
still at the
secrets.
old. Yeah. She failed to be able to move stuff from the old library, from that secret library. And, we have two ways in, one safe way out, one incredibly dangerous way out. Right?
Theorize
I
in
think-
the detox. This is a good,
Yeah.
because we are right at quitting time. But lots to talk about. But let's wrap it up for today's session. So everyone, thank you so much for watching and or listening. You have been watching and or listening to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwashed actual play series on the internet. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon for notifications every time we publish new material. And also, if you have the wherewithal, please hook up with our Patreon. All the money goes to help support and continue the stream. And join our public Discord for lots of fun discussion that happens daily and nightly. Thank you, as always, to all of our Patreon subscribers, explorers, delvers, and especially our conquerors, who are, Matt.
Yes. Well, they aren't me, but okay, I get it.
Yes.
I'd like to thank, first of all, our new conqueror, Zach Shiflett. And then he joins some very august company. The Familia Mirando, Mercury 605, Ruben D. Caller, Dave Rosser Jr., Andrew, Hans Berkhammerer, Dakota Nielsen, Horace of Oz, Cam, Stephen Kessenberry, Brad and Aiden, the Logan family, Kobrowskis, Declan Koneski, Chad Cartier, Magic Meat Machine, Tom Leary, Phil, G Tokyo Time, Terry Barney, Eric Lawson, Mando NZ, Faisal, James Dewig, Nefarious Gamer, Grunt, Andrew Schroker, MM, Michael Schilling, Stefano Di Maiolo, the Hexbrawler Twins, Summon Toast, Adam the DM, Jib Cutter, Scott Yearsley, Mech Jack, Kick Maniac, Dire Grew, and now my favorite part, my Matt's not Matt, but not least, Matt Mason, Matt Gardner, Matt Koenig, and Matt Young. Thank you all so very much. And to the rest of you guys, I hope we'll see as many of you as possible on Friday, August 2nd, 2024. It's going to be great. 3D6 Down the Hatch. Thanks, guys.
Yep, it's going to be a great time. If you can make it into Manhattan and you're nearby, please do show up. It will be a great time. So please do if you can. Thanks as always for your continued support, everyone. Have a great week, and we will see you next time. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Yep.
Thanks,
Thank you,
John. Thanks, John.